KD kind of came around in the second half on Saturday against the VU. How much does his impact have on his team going forward and, playing more minutes maybe?
Yeah, I mean, KD had 3 steals and I think it was good to see him playing, with some intensity. And, I thought last week he had a good week in practice. And I don't know why sometimes it is, the week before a game, you have a couple of good days in practice. And so, but, obviously, we'll need, we at the end of the game, Al and Wendell and KD are 3 veteran guards, and they're, going to be matched up against, every night at the end of in close games. That's what it's going to, come down to is your guard play, and so it's good to get him playing better. And I think if we could, again, just continue to be aggressive without turning the ball over, I think that's going to be a real key for us. And why do I keep focusing on that? Last year we were just a little bit more explosive offensively. We could score more points. Right now defensively, we're still 20th in the nation in defensive efficiency. And so, to be there defensively without Walker or Jabari, who are both really good defensive players, is really good. And so we still got to hang our hat on that. So therefore, we just can't give up easy stuff in transition. We got to get all 5 guys back. We got to do a better, do a good job of guarding in the half court, and have to win games in the half court. Therefore, it's not going to be quite as up and down, and we're not going to force as many turnovers. We're not going to hopefully turn the ball over as much ourselves, and therefore it comes down to guard play.
How important is it to try to get the ball posted inside? Big guys.
Well, we
back out with guards.
We have an advantage inside. I mean, Janai Broom and Jalen Williams and Dylan rebounding and playing at the rim, and we definitely have Al around the basket. We have an advantage on the inside. The challenge is. It really, quite frankly, just the way the game is called. You look at the NBA, like there's just no more inside game in the NBA. There's no more back to the basket. There's no more post-up players. Everything is 5 out. Everything is spread. The only time the ball gets to the rim is when it's driven there or shot there. I mean, it's just never posted up. And I think part of the reason is it's not as high percentage of look as it used to be. Why? A lot of contact, hard to get it in there. A lot of contact getting it in there, and then once you get it in there, there's a lot of contact when they're making attempts. But by virtue of some of the rule changes and the verticality, they're allowing a lot more contact, which makes the shots more challenging, more difficult. Big guys are shooting in the 50% instead of the 60s and 70s. And the other thing too is most big guys aren't great free throw shooters, and so that's a huge factor. And yet, we're going to still pound that ball inside of Janai and going to pound that ball inside of Jalen. And I think they're getting fouled a lot.
On the subject of mentioning the NBA, you got 2 guys that are on the rising stars all-star game. Could you talk about that?
Well, it's wonderful. I mean, it's just, I am so happy for both Walker and for Jabari. Everybody expected Jabari to be able to be there because of the place where he was drafted, and unfortunately the Rockets are very young and they're not a very competitive team. And I think those of us that knew that Walker Kessler was one of the best players in basketball in the air at any level, offensively in the air, finishing everything that he catches and puts his hands on, getting to the rim so quickly and so explosively. We saw him do that. And then, one of the best shot blockers in basketball, period. He's got a different level length and, a different level ability. And he is an untouchable commodity for the Utah Jazz right now when it comes to, trading time. So I just think it's great, but there were a couple of reasons why we were the best team in the country for about a month and a half last year.
Okay, Luke. Bruce, with the way Wendell has been getting trapped up top, specifically the last 2 games, have you kind of considered throwing Trey Dawson in the lineup with them to kind of help have a secondary guy with them to take advantage of those 4-on-3s?
Yeah, no, haven't thought about that. That's why, let's say in the West Virginia game, a couple times we put KD and Al in some ball screen situations and let them play out of it and have Wendell off the ball, to your point. I thought Wendell does a really good job when he gets double teamed. The problem is when he gets double teamed, it takes away one of our best offensive players. And so that's why we put the ball in Al's hands and KD's hands a couple times to let them get doubled and see if we could find Wendell. We didn't do a very good job with it, but that was the intention.
Last question from Luke.
How do you sort of, because you know what's left on the schedule and how tough that is, how do you kind of keep together focused on the importance of this game and the next game, knowing what's left?
Yeah, we just, we honestly take it one game at a time. And I know for those of you that have been with me for so many years now, I mean, you just know that to be true. I mean, you just know how I'm preparing for Georgia. And I got part of my staff getting ready for the next one, but I'm not even looking at it. I've got to do everything I can to get this team ready for this game. My guys know that. It's our focus. And, the 2 jobs we all have is, 1, can we each get better, and 2, can we help the team win? That's what everybody's job is throughout the season. We've got to play better to beat Georgia this time, and I know that their program has been down, for so long that, it's just. Although I can remember I've been here at Auburn long enough too, when their program was, Mark Fox was there, and they were, their program was above ours, and that was obviously a big game for us. I told our guys, look, there are a couple games that matter on the schedule more than others, and that's the team in Athens, Georgia, and that's the team in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That's just a fact. And so you want to endear yourself to the fan base. You want to make history. Those are teams that you got to beat. You got to be competitive with. And so we lost to Georgia the first time, and they outplayed us. And we managed. We're playing better now than we were there. That's a good thing. And I looked at that second game in the SEC. I look at us playing now. We're playing better than we were. But in some ways they are too. So just simply take it one at a time and don't look, at what's ahead. And if you were to, then again, I'd look in the same way I look at playing at West Virginia. Opportunity to do something that's hard to do. Winning at Morgantown. Opportunity to beat teams. Opportunity to win at Knoxville. Really hard to do. So you look at them as opportunities.